Yeah, that directly inspired this video. How could you not? Or I guess, how could I not make a video like this after seeing that? Make a mental note of that because it will come back up. But today we're talking about the 10 most destructive devil fruits in One Piece. We're ranking them. This was actually a lot more difficult than I thought, just due to the fact that there are so many devil fruits and they do such different things. Ranking them by destructive power is a lot to think about. First, the potential of the fruit. Some of these fruits, they're not used by powerful people, so you have to evaluate and try to scale it if it was being used by, say, an admiral, and then trying to incorporate awakenings, and then again, the potential of the devil fruits. So this was really difficult. So we have 10 fruits, but before we get into the 10 fruits, I want to talk about my honorable mentions. First, Magellan's fruit, the Doku Doku no Mi. The main thing is probably Venom Demon, and because that was affecting inorganic materials as well. And just the potency of it, it didn't make the list because Magellan was in a confined space. So I wanted to see, like, if this was in an open area, like how much things it would affect. Of course, Magellan's poison would definitely affect plants and people and different buildings and things of that nature, but I would want to see it in that area before I can say it's one of the most destructive devil fruits in One Piece. It could definitely make the list because it is crazy, but it's just not on it right now. Next is the Bobble Bobble no Mi, and this is from Mr. 5. Now, Mr. 5's devil fruit allows him to explode any part of his body or his entire body and he won't get hurt. But the thing is, this devil fruit, it's really hard to scale. The potential of this fruit, I think, is crazy because, say, you know, your sweat, you can explode your sweat or different parts of your body. What is the awakening like? So the Bobble Bobble no Mi, I'm not sure. It could be very destructive. It's just hard to see how that would be used. The Gasu Gasu no Mi, Caesar's fruit. This is mainly because Caesar, being a scientist, I could see him creating a technique where he has gas spread across an island or something like that. If he was all powerful, like an admiral level character, and then, you know, he creates a spark with his gastanet, blows up the entire island because of the gas trail. So that's why I say the Gasu Gasu no Mi could be one of the more destructive devil fruits out there. We know the potential of it, but it could be one of the most destructive. Eustace Kid's devil fruit. We don't know what the name of it is, but the electromagnetism more than likely. I think in today's society, with metal being incorporated into everything, it would be probably the most destructive. But in One Piece, it's still very destructive. We just have to see more from it and understand it better before it makes the list. Then finally, the Yami Yami no Mi. It almost made the list because Blackbeard did absorb an entire island and threw it at Ace, but it's more of a counter fruit. I'm not sure if destruction is its best trait. I think the nullification of devil fruits, that's probably its thing, but it can be destructive, just not the main thing it does. So those are my honorable mentions. If you do want to place your honorable mentions in there as well, you can. Or devil fruits you feel like could have made the list, that would be great as well. Without further ado, let's get into the top 10, or my top 10. And if it's my top 10, I guess it's the top 10 most destructive devil fruits in One Piece. So number 10, we have the Kaito Kaito no Mi. This is not the official name, obviously, but after seeing that showing in the anime, there's no way I couldn't place Kaito on this list. Once we learn more about Kaito, once we get that battle between Luffy and Kaito at the end of Wano, I suspect that it will go up. But Kaito completely evaporating the top of a mountain with a dragon's breath or hyper beam, whatever you want to call it. Number 10, I'm sorry, just off of that one thing, you are number 10, because that is one of the more impressive feats by a devil fruit user that we have seen in the series. So Kaito Kaito no Mi, number 10 for me. Number 9, we have the Fua Fua no Mi, and that's Shiki's devil fruit, where he can levitate inanimate objects or objects that are not living. So he cannot levitate humans, animals, or plants, but he can water, he can the earth, anything that's not alive. So Shiki, we know from seeing him fight, he has absolute mastery of his devil fruit. He can manipulate the earth around him. He can manipulate water, snow, anything. Shiki can use that to his advantage. So imagine fighting around buildings, but the thing is, he has to come into contact with it. So that limits the devil fruit. If he didn't have to do that, it would be a lot higher, because then he could use anything to his will, but he has to come in contact with it. So that limits him a lot. I think the best feat for him is him going to Marineford and fighting Garp and Sengoku and destroying half of Marineford. I always placed it on the fact that he has such an overpowered devil fruit, whereas he was going around touching different things and using it to his advantage. So it destroying half of Marineford is not far-fetched. So that's why it's easily number 9 for me. Could have been higher, honestly. Number 8, the Hie Hie no Mi, and that's Aokiji's devil fruit. And people may say this may be higher, may not be on the list, but it's hard to ignore what happened at Punk Hazard, where it completely changed the climate of half an island. Aokiji, of course, is an awakened user, and people are saying, well, ice isn't that destructive, but I'm thinking thinking of how if he froze over an entire island, it's destroying a lot of stuff, especially how deep he's freezing things over. I mean, can you imagine things existing with it being completely ice? I'm thinking of the ramifications of things being that cold for a very long time, the destruction it could cause, not only on humans, inanimate objects, just everything in general. So I'm looking at it a bit deeper. You could say maybe this is not a super destructive devil fruit, but the after effects of being frozen over could have lasting effects. Jozu can probably attest to that. Number 7, I have the Pika Pika no Mi, and that's Kizaru's devil fruit. Now, this is a bit difficult because we haven't seen exceptional destructive feats from Kizaru. If you go to the film Z movie, we saw how crazy that could be. Even if someone is using Haki against him, he was able to penetrate Z's armor or Z's Haki. When he showed up to Sabaody, he completely destroyed one of the mangroves with a casual attack, and they told him he has to rein it in. And again, he's firing light speed lasers that could penetrate almost anything. So if you just use Yata no Kagami on an entire island, it could be devastating. Of course, Kizaru's devil fruit in a nutshell is nerfed because using his devil fruit to the fullest of potential that we expect it to be able to be used at, it should be able to decimate the entire earth. Reeling it back in, it was hard to ignore the destructive power of Kizaru's devil fruit. Number 6, we have the Maramura no Mi. Now, we saw Ace use it, we saw Sabo use it. Sabo destroyed an entire Coliseum arena with one fire fist, and I expect once we see Sabo use it at the end of One Piece or towards the end of One Piece, probably using Entei. Entei will be a lot larger than when Ace used it because he's going to be stronger than Ace was at the time. When Entei was pretty much town level, he created an entire ball of fire and flame, and that is very destructive. It's a few things more destructive than fire, but of course this is One Piece, so there's a lot of things out there, but there's no way the Maramura no Mi doesn't make it to this list. I mean, we saw Ace had the fireflies thing. Let's say Sabo does master the devil fruit and he uses his like core destruction. If he gets deep enough into the core, then he engulfs it with flames, then that creates some explosions. That could be crazy as well. So Maramura no Mi number 6 for me. Number 5, I have the Nikyu no Mi. That's Kuma's devil fruit. Now, this devil fruit is insane because not only can he fire light speed thrust of pressure, the main thing is Ursa shock. And with enough setup time, he's creating a pressurized bomb, it seems like. So he's compressing air into a bubble. And the thing is, with the air being compressed that much, it causes an enormous explosion once it's decompressed. So with enough time, Kuma should be able to create something that's so compressed that it could annihilate an island. That's how I'm looking at it, because the potential of that fruit is insane. It's hard to ignore the Nikyu no Mi based on what we've seen from it. It can reflect pain. It can do a lot of damage. So there's no question in my mind. Number 4, we have the Gura no Mi. And people are going to say, well, Enel's fruit, the most destructive power probably comes from the art Maxim, but Enel has shown that he can destroy islands, he can destroy people, whatever, with just the swipe of his palm. It's electricity, right? So with him and that devil fruit, I think it speaks for itself. There are a few things in the One Piece world that can compare to the destructive power we saw from Enel easily, just with his level of control, island level. I'm assuming with the potential of this, maybe awakening, he could rain down thunderbolts non-stop, and that's an insane power. So the Gura no Mi number 4, no question, and you can honestly say it could be higher. Number 3, we have the Zushi no Mi, and that's Fujitora's devil fruit. People are gonna say meteors came down, Doflamingo handled it, Law handled it, but think about this. Fujitora did this really casually. Just one swing and he brought down a meteor. Fujitora can bring down a meteor shower, and based on how casual he did it, he can bring down several meteor showers. The other thing about it is that what if Fujitora, there's another level to this where Fujitora can bring down actual moons, or the gravity can be so immense that it can start crushing entire structures. We've seen just a tip of the iceberg of Fujitora's fruit. Not sure if Oda's gonna go the route of Fujitora creating a black hole with his devil fruit, because Raging Tiger had that kind of vibe when he used it. I think the potential of this devil fruit is immense. Gravity in itself is overpowering, so no question for me, Fujitora number 3. Number 2 and 1 was somewhat difficult, but because of what was stated, I have to go with the Magu no Mi number 2, and that's Akainu's devil fruit. Oda has hyped up this devil fruit himself, saying that that's one of the highest tiers of offensive power. We saw how destructive Akainu's fruit was at Marineford, and that's with him holding back, obviously, because we saw Punk hazarded the end result of him somewhat going all out, or definitely going all out. Magma He can do almost anything with that. And just anything being attacked by magma, you know the destructive power and capabilities of it. So we saw Marine for it. Like, he was just shooting magma into the sky. It was decimating everybody and everything. It's a very devastating devil fruit to deal with. And number one, obviously, is the gura nomi. This is an easy one because of what's been stated, saying that it could destroy the entire world. And then it's earthquakes. And thinking of the potential of it using awakenings, what if the person that uses this fruit, now Blackbeard, uses Riol or finds a way to get in contact with the Earth's core and shifts that with an earthquake, it's sinking islands easily. And we saw the tsunamis that it could make as well. The gura nomi is easily, I think, the most destructive devil fruit based on feats. But again, I'm not sure how much more of the hyper beam we're gonna see, but that's crazy. That is crazy and insane. But guys, that's pretty much it. I could go in depth with all of these fruits, but I didn't want to make it too long because, I don't know, attention spans are kind of crazy nowadays. Give me your thoughts. What are your most destructive devil fruits? If you guys enjoy this type of video, I could rank the best devil fruits, the most powerful, the most underrated, because I have a few that I think are supremely underrated, maybe the weakest as well. But give me your thoughts. What are your top 10 or even top 5 most destructive devil fruits? So that's it for me. Like the video if you did, subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Follow me on Twitter at BroggoDAce, follow me on Instagram at BroggoD.ace. Shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for the support. Like, subscribe, catch you in the next one. Peace.